Hello and welcome to Creativity with DA3 Live. I'm your host, Don Allen III. And today what we're going to work on is a design of a cute 3D monster creation. We're going to be using the program Cinema 4D, and then afterwards we're going to export our character, bring it into Photoshop. We're going to do some final color work and treatment to make the final composition pretty and cool. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to the show. We're doing a live screen capture. We're live streaming to Instagram and live streaming to YouTube as we speak. Oh yeah, here's some backgrounds that I've made recently using the same program, Cinema 4D. These are different fun backgrounds that you'll see in future posts. Before we get started, for those of you that are watching this not live, go ahead and skip about 5 minutes ahead, just to avoid any troubleshooting that I'm doing right now. Don't want to waste your time. So hopefully that works for you on your end. Interesting. So it looks like it's not playing on my computer, so maybe there's a chance that the live stream is not actually working on your end. But I'm refreshing the page to see if we're getting any luck. Okay, cool. So it looks like it's working now. Okay, cool. I think we're live and it's public. Yep, it's a how-to video. All right, welcome to the show. So what we're going to work on today is we're going to go inside of Cinema 4D, and we're going to make a cute 3D kind of monster thing. So yeah, if you're on Instagram right now, if you want to watch this on YouTube, I would encourage you to click the link in the bio, and then you'll be taken to my YouTube account where you can see a live stream of the screen and hear the extra crispy audio because we have a different microphone setup over here, and it's not the phone. I'm going to turn the background music down just a little bit. There we go. Make sure that we're still streaming live here on Instagram. Or sorry, we're live streaming here on YouTube. Okay, cool. Everything's working. Hopefully the audio's there. Let me just test it real quick. Yep, audio's working. Okay, cool. The live stream is on. Welcome to the show. Let's get started. All right, so we're inside Cinema 4D. I'm going to change my layout to a standard mode. And I'm going to bring in a cube into our composition. We'll kind of move this cube up a little bit, and we'll just take a look at the cube. Next, we're going to make the kind of like eyeballs of the character. I'm thinking they're going to be spheres, and so let's go ahead and move the spheres around. If we want to make two of the eyeballs really easily, we can use the option called the look at this thing, it's really cool. It's the symmetry object. So we go to here and click the symmetry object, and we make our sphere a child of the symmetry object. So now if we move our sphere, with it being a child of the, I'm going to hide this one real quick. If we move our sphere, you'll notice that it will move perfectly parallel to the other one because we're using it as a symmetry object. So these can be a great way to make eyeballs for a cartoon character really quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and take these spheres and move them up and forward so that they're kind of like little eyeballs on our composition. And we're just going to place these somewhere. Don't really know where we're going to place them yet, so we're just kind of experimenting. Cool. Next I'm going to, we're going to go into a flat view of our character. Now I would encourage people to use Adobe Illustrator for this part, but you can actually do it inside of Cinema 4D as well. Let's go ahead and turn on our display to show shading so we can kind of see our characters. Those are the eyeballs. We got our kind of body of this monster character. And we're going to make the mouth of this character. So what I'm going to do is start off with a sphere again and push the sphere forward in Z space. And then we're going to squash the sphere down on one of its axes. Oh, I'm showing it on YouTube. Whoa. Hello. We're on YouTube right now. If you want to click the link in the bio, it will take you to YouTube to watch the live stream. Yeah, so we have a sphere, and now what we're going to do with the sphere to make the monster's mouth is kind of collapse it on one of the axes. So we're going to grab the sphere, go to our coordinate scale, and then scale it down on the y-axis. That way it kind of shrinks down our sphere into an oval shape. So let's go back into our orthographic or perspective view, and you can kind of see we have this, almost looks like a tongue sticking out of our character. And so what we'll do now is we will make the sphere, that squashed sphere, a cutout of the of the cube. So to do that, we're going to click on this object here, and we're going to use a thing called a, wait, what's it called? I might have forgotten the name. It's called a bool. There's the bool. And we're going to make the cube a child of the bool, and we're also going to make the sphere a child of the cube. And then you will see that our sphere now has a perfect cutout of our character's mouth. So we can kind of have the character almost talking, being like, wow, 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 wow. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Creativity with DA3 Live. We're live streaming to, oh, way. Welcome. We have some folks that are on YouTube right now. Let me just say hello. Hello. Cool. Let's go right back to the tutorial. All right, so we got crispy audio. All right, so we got this sphere that kind of opens and closes the mouth of our character, which is really kind of fun and interesting. To make the character cuter, I noticed that they make the mouths really tiny, and then they bring the mouth almost in between the eyes for these kind of cartoon characters. So I'm going to move our symmetry object, which is our eyes in this case, down. And then we're going to move the eyes to just be a little bit wider apart. Okay. Now we can grab the entire face and move the face down with the other objects. There we go. So I'm trying to think of where we want to have the character's face. Cool. Let's grab these eyeballs, the spheres, move them forward so they're kind of popping out of the face a little bit. Okay, so we kind of got this little cube with a little face. But now I want to make this more interesting for the character. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this cube and run it through a subdivision surface. What a subdivision surface does is it rounds off all the edges of anything, any hard corner, any hard edge. And the result is really neat. So by default, we only had 6 sides of our cube. So it perfectly rounded all of them off and it made it a sphere. So if we want to bring some of that kind of boxiness back from the sphere, what we'll want to do is go to the cube and increase the number of segments on each side in the object mode. So if I increase the segments in the x-axis, you'll see that slowly clicking by click, that kind of brings back some of that rounding of the edges. And we can do this for the y-axis, and then we can also do this for the z-axis. And now you can see that our character kind of looks like a marshmallow, a chubby marshmallow head. And this is just an easy way to add a lot more detail to your character without having to sculpt it in a tedious manner. Okay, cool. Very cool, very cool. Let's give him some teeth. So what I'm going to do for the teeth is use the pill or the capsule object. It looks kind of like a pill to me. It's like this thing. And we can shrink it down in the radius, and then we can also reduce its height in the y-axis, and then shrink it again and again and again. Now we have a single tooth, and so I can kind of put this tooth into the character's mouth, and we can use this as a set of teeth. And that'll look kind of cool for the character to have these teeth here. Right now it just has one kind of tooth. Maybe that's all we need. Maybe we'll need more. We'll find out in a second. Cool, going right back to the character. I want to make sure that we're live streaming correctly. Okay, cool, yeah, the live stream is still working. Good, 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 good. All right, so we got one tooth inside of our character now. Hello, Demos. Hello, Aja. I think that's how I pronounce your name. We're gonna copy the capsule, and holding Shift, we're gonna slide the 2 capsules to the side, and this will kind of duplicate them, so we can really quickly spread the teeth out in our character with relatively not too much work. We can kind of just grab all the capsules, move them up, and then we can grab these capsules again and move them down for the bottom of the teeth. Cool, so now we have some teeth in our character. And let's grab all the capsules and bring the teeth forward in 3D space. So we can, oops, that's on the x-axis, kind of slide our teeth forward so I can see them a little bit better. I'm now going to give our character a little bit of a tongue. So what we're going to do for that is we're going to duplicate the sphere that we used as the mouth cutout, and we're going to move it outside of our bool object. We're going to shrink it and then move it down. And just like that, we now have a tongue built in the same shape as the mouth for our character. Easy. Easy peasy. Okay, cool. Next thing we're going to do is go to our sphere and increase the number of segments. This sphere was the one that's cutting out the mouth shape. So let me actually just increase the... Huh, that's weird. I'm not seeing the sphere cut out correctly. Let's select our sphere. Let's do render perfect and increase our segments. There we go. So by increasing it from 24 to 64 segments, it rounds the corners of the mouth, which makes it a little bit easier to work with. Actually makes it harder to work with since it takes more polygons, but it makes it look cooler and smoother. All right, let's go at a quick render pass to see what we're getting right now. We haven't done any texturing work. We haven't done any color work. We're just 3D modeling our character. Welcome, Robert. What are you doing? I want to see. If you want to see, we're live streaming to YouTube right now, where I'm doing a capture of this. We're doing a 3D monster. We're going to cover it with fur, and I'm modeling it right now. Here's a sneak peek. I'm going to try to rotate our camera. Or let me flip this way. Go this way. Actually, I can probably just do that. So yeah, right now what we're doing is we just modeled this character using a few shapes. We used spheres for the eyes. We used 8 capsules for each tooth. We used a squashed sphere for the tongue, and we used a squashed sphere for the mouth cutout. And then we used a rounded cube for the body. Cool. All right. Let's go back to this body real quick. I kind of want to adjust a couple things here. See if we can kind of just either make it... Ooh, that's creepy. Let's not do that. We're going to go back. Don't want to make it too creepy. Let's go ahead and reduce the segments there. Okay. Cool. All right. So the next step I would like to work on is covering this character with fur. So what I'm going to do is select our sphere and our cube, and if we right click on them and choose expand group object, oh, don't do that, that was the wrong one. We're going to grab the cube and the sphere thing, and let's try to maybe connect the objects or group the objects. I forgot what it was, but there was a tool. Okay, there it is. All right, so now it's interpreting this information as polygons instead of like the geometry factor. So you can see in this geometry mode, we can see all the polygons that are involved with this. Now this is a crucial step for the next part because we're going to be adding hair to this character. And it works by how many edges and how many polygons there are. So that's why I wanted to see the polygon view. So let's grab our character's body, which is this cube here. And let's have it on face selection, right? So we got all of the faces kind of selected. We could do, we could go to select, or actually, I think we'll just do it to anything. So let's grab our cube, and then in Cinema 4D, we're gonna go up to this option here. It's simulate particles, and welcome, Susanna. Welcome to the show. We're live streaming onto YouTube and we're live streaming onto Instagram. There's 2 streams going on right now. So if you want to listen to extra crispy audio on YouTube, you can click the link in the bio. What we're doing right now is we are making a creature, we're modeling it, and we're gonna give it some fur and make it look kind of creepy, but like maybe a cute creepy. I don't know if that's a thing. But yeah, that's what we're doing right now. All right, so let's so we have our cube selected. We're gonna go to simulate hair objects. Kind of a weird name. And then we go to add hair. Look at that. If we hit play, it actually already has physics by default. And it's a little bit too perfect physics, like meaning everything falls evenly, and it looks hideous. We're gonna need to do some work to the hair, but kind of get the idea of where we're going. Let me just check up on YouTube real quick. Oh, Karen, nice choice in music. I listen to the same thing. Oh my God, we have the same music. Yes, music for days. Welcome, Karen Wang, and welcome, Unprepared Polar Bear on YouTube. I'm happy you've joined us. Today we're working inside of Cinema 4D. What we're working on in particular is a kind of cute 3D monster. That's what I'm trying to do, is a cute 3D monster. You're joining us now live on Creativity with DA3, and let's get right back to the show. Here we go. So we just applied hair to our character, but the hair is hideous, and it falls through the face. and it falls through the teeth, and there's just, this isn't, you never just want to go with the defaults with this program. So what we're going to do to make this hair a little bit more realistic is first we're going to reduce the length. So we can shrink the centimeters. We can give it a super mega afro that goes on infinitely. Or we can shrink it down to be a little bit more reserved. And then we're going to hit play. Hitting play kind of just runs the physics turned on. Then if we hit Command R, we can render out a rough preview of what it's looking like. I already see a couple of issues here where it appears that the hair is like going through the mouth or something. I'm not totally sure how we'll fix that, but for now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the guide option here, the guide, and instead of it going to the polygon vertex, maybe we can have this aligned to the polygon center. And then we can also change this to map to new. I don't know what that does, but I've had it's fixed issues in the past. Okay, now it's all a little too spiky. Okay, so the next thing that's going to make this hair look more realistic is curls and waviness and texture. And so let's go into our hair object in our material editor, and let's turn on some frizz, some kinkiness in the hair, some density, clumpiness. Actually, no clumps. No clumps for now. Let's just do frizz, kink, and density. And let's just see what the defaults look like and give it a quick render. Okay, looks really gross and creepy. Let me check on YouTube real quick. Looking on YouTube. Okay, cool. Going right back. Another thing that's going to make this look a lot more realistic is if we add a good number more hairs. So in the movie Zootopia, the bunny that Disney made has about 2.5 million hairs on the face and hands. And what I've just noticed when working with hair objects inside of these 3D programs is the more hairs that you have, the more realistic it looks. So right now we have 3,968 hairs. And this isn't all that great because we see that it's missing a lot of areas. We don't see the hair everywhere. So let's up this from 3,000 hairs, or I guess that's about 4,000. Let's do this something much crazier. Let's do like 20,000 hairs. Oh, it doesn't like that. Oh, I gotta change it in the hairs option. My bad. Right now the default was 5,000 hairs. We're gonna change this from 5,000 to 20,000, just to start. All right, let's give it a quick render. Here's 20,000 hairs. Nice, interesting. Let's add another 0. Let's do 200,000 hairs and crash my computer. Let's see what we get. Ooh, it doesn't like that. It's going to take a while to render. 200,000 hairs, not a good idea. Let's go back. All right, so 200,000 hairs, too much. 20,000 hairs, not enough. Do we have any suggestions for how many hairs we should give this object, knowing that 20,000 is not enough and 200,000 is way too more, or it's way too much? 80. What about 80,000 hairs? What's that going to look like? I would say this part of the tutorial is, whoa, oh, look at the little fella. Okay, I kind of like this one. 80,000 hairs. Wow. Oh wait, Divix Pablo says we should try 1,500. 1,500. Let's try that. 1,5,0,0,0. Let's give it a render. Ooh, I see too much of the skin under there. I'm going to have to up it for now. We can always change this number if it's looking too furry in the near future. I love talking about 3D stuff. It sounds so silly to anybody who has no idea what I'm talking about. All right. Oops. How many did we do? I already forgot. Oh, we did 80,000. 80,123. All right. So 80,000 hairs looks like this. Poof. The mouth disappears completely, which is okay because we're about to use some really cool features inside this program. Because you can actually style hair inside of Cinema 4D. You don't just get limited with physics. But first, you got to go to your hair object in the simulate tab, and then you have to choose this thing. I forgot the name of it. I'll remember when I see it. It's one of these things. You have to basically tell it to stop turning on physics for the hair, or else it's gonna just keep destroying the hair that you design. I suffered for this. There it is. This is the key. You need to set it as dynamics. Boom. So we have set it as dynamics, and now when we hit play, oh, that's not good. It shouldn't be moving. Let me try this again. We go to simulate. I'm going to select the hair again. Maybe that will do it. Simulate, add, oh no, hair tools, hair options, hair selection, hair edit, set as dynamics. Oh, that's not good. Normally, when I set it as dynamics, it stops playing the hair. Oops. Oh, Karen Wang says we should try 40,000 hairs. Pineapple Industries on YouTube says, hey, I'm on both lives. I'm Young Pins 3. Oh, cool. Shout me out, please. Subbed and liked. Wow. Let's give a big shout out for Young Pins 3. Thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel and following on Instagram. Super appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Young.pin3. Right here. We're back. And defun, what we're doing is we're working on a cute 3D monster inside of Cinema 4D. And I'm trying to turn off the physics of the hair because right now I want the hair to stop moving so that I can use the brush tools and start brushing the hair, use the trim tool to cut the hair out of the mouth. But I need the physics to stop working for just a few seconds. Let's try this one other way. I'm going to grab the hair object, right click on it, and maybe I can do this thing called revert or expand group object. Okay, let's see if that did it. Nope, still alive. Go to simulate. I mean, it's not the end of the world if we can't get it to stop moving. It'll just mean our style will have to be a little bit limited. Set as dynamics. Why won't that work? Okay, I'm just going to work with it anyway. So check this out. In the simulate tab, there's also hair options and hair tools. Just like in real life. Look at these names. We got a brush, we have a comb, we have a clumper, a curling iron, a cutting tool, a push tool, a straighten tool. This is a full-on salon. So let's go to the brush, and you can see that when you hover over a section, it kind of locks onto it, and then we can physically brush the hair. And the strength of the hair, or the strength of the brush, is dependent by this mode here. So right now the radius is 100 centimeters. The shape is circle. You can change this to whatever you want, box or diamond, how much pressure you want, what angle you want it to be kind of working at. I'm just kind of brushing the hair. Maybe I'm going to push it kind of around the eyes a little bit so it kind of looks like it fell in a more natural way. Editing point, we can increase the radius of our brush by sliding up on that thing. Just kind of waving the hair a little bit to kind of bring it forward and back just to give it a little bit more life, a little bit more volume. The key thing though is we will not be able to press play now, because the moment we press play, this hair will kind of turn into physics again and we'll let gravity do its thing, which is cool for some of the time. But today I want to actually just kind of style this hair myself, kind of just waving the hair a little bit. Look at that. Ooh. Okay. Keep brushing and brushing, kind of make some of the things a little bit furrowed a little bit. Let's check on YouTube real quick again. No problem. Happy to give you a shout out. Boom. Clickety boom. Let's press that up. Okay, let's see what we're getting. Let's go ahead and render this out. Quick render. Okay. Yeah, let's use the scissors tool and see if we can cut some of the hair out of the mouth, because it's taken away from the teeth and the stuff that we worked on. So let's go ahead and fix that. In the simulation under hair tools, we can go to the cut, and I will just go ahead and expand the radius quite a bit. We're going to just cut all these hairs. There you go. Just cutting the hairs right out of the mouth. All right, I might have cut too much of the hairs, but let's see. Ooh, that's creepy. Oh man, that looks really creepy. I think I cut too much hair. Let's back up. Let's try cutting these ones here. 1, 2, 3. A few more down there. Let's give that a render. Thank you so much, Moranmo. All right, let's see if I can cut these. I'm going to temporarily hide the body of our character. Oh, those are his eyes. Let's hide the body of the character somewhere. Where's the body? Oh, there's the body. All right. Ew, creepy. Don't look at this for too long. It's going to creep you out. We got to hide the mouth as well, just so I can erase the hairs inside the mouth, because for some reason it wasn't picking them up. Oh, no, I just erased a chunk from his cheeks. Let's get those back. Cut. All right, cut some hairs. Also, to keep the render size smaller, I don't plan on showing the back of the character. So sometimes I literally just erase parts that aren't going to be seen by anybody, because the computer's just having to think about this information even though it's not showing it. So just get rid of it. Save your computer some render time. All right, let's just see how creepy this is real quick. Actually, it doesn't look all that creepy because the fur kind of takes the place of where the gray would have been. So it's kind of its own unique style. Maybe I'll work with that. Okay. So lately I've changed my color palette for my brand. You might have seen it on the background here. It's this bright pink, it's the yellow, it's the blue. This is the design that I worked on in the same program, Cinema 4D, which I really believe you can do anything in. Pretty soon I'm going to be running a Patreon page to help people support me in these fun endeavors and free content and tutorials, and I'll be giving free backgrounds for phones and desktops once a month. Something like that from different ones I make. Okay, cool. So we got some of the fur on the face. Let's just check the comments real quick. Karen Wake says, it's time for bed. Thanks for the live streaming. Oh, take care, Karen. Have a wonderful evening, and thanks for stopping by on YouTube. Okay, cool. Got the furs. Let's get crazier. It is time to get some funky colors in here. So we're going to go to our hair material and change it from this kind of poopy brown color to maybe a pink or a yellow or a blue, since those are my current brand colors. So the way it works is we choose a root color and then we choose the tip color. The root should always be a little bit darker, so it just kind of gives the lighting a little bit more of a natural look. And then I'm going to just do this super hot pink for the highlight here. So maybe add a little bit more red tones to that pink. All right, check out the fur now. 3, 2, 1, 0. Boom, we got a furry pink monster. Nice. Let's give him some white teeth by clicking in the area here, double clicking on our color, and changing the color from this gray to a super white. We can add a little bit of diffusion to the mouth, and maybe we can even increase the reflection strength so that it has like a tooth texture. Teeth aren't that reflective, so I'm going to reduce the amount of reflection brightness quite a bit, but I'm going to increase the roughness since teeth have kind of a rough texture to them. And then we just drag it onto each tooth. If we had these grouped up as a single object, we could have dragged it just to the root object, but I forgot to group the teeth, but no problem. Just kind of put them there. Oops. And just give it a quick peek. Let's render that one out real quick just so we can see what we're getting with the white teeth. And okay, cool. So we're getting some cute teeth in there. I was thinking for the eyeballs, they could be kind of like these black, beady, almost liquidy looking eyeballs. So we'll go to the color and set it to black. Then we go to our reflection and we add a Beckman curve. With the Beckman, we go to our specular and increase the specular strength. And then we also reduce our global brightness just a tad so that it turns into kind of like a glass bead. And we're going to paste that there. So now we kind of got this black, super reflective eyeball. Okay, cool. That looks super creepy though. So we should move to the next important step. Oh, actually, let's give it a tongue, a red tongue. or a blue tongue. I don't know what color tongue. What is a blue? Let's just do a red tongue for now. I haven't met any monsters with the blue tongue yet. Okay, so cool. So we got this tongue in the mouth, creepy looking teeth. Great. And there's still this issue of some of the hairs kind of being a little bit too far off. But cool, let's just see what this looks like when we give it a quick little render. While it's rendering, I'm gonna check on YouTube. If you're looking for chill, soothing music on SoundCloud, there's a playlist by Chilled Cow. I think you would like it. It's lo-fi hip-hop by Chilled Cow. Ooh, Pineapple Industries. You know me well. Thank you very much for your suggestion. I will be sure to check that out when we run out of the music. Okay, cool. I really like the red tongue in there. Maybe we'll give glowing eyes or something instead. Whoa, zoom in. Okay. Next important step to make hair look more realistic and better is to add lights. So I'm going to add a light to our scene. We're going to move this light just kind of to the side and above our character, the first light. And with the light, we're going to make sure that when we select it, we also choose that it has maybe some soft shadows, and also make sure that it's actually we'll keep it normal for now. We don't need to do volumetric. So that's just a white light. Let's give it a little bit of a blue cooling to it. So I'm just doing a slight tint of blue here, so that it kind of has a nice little blue backlight here. Now the rest of the face is going to be pretty dark, but you can kind of see how realistic lights are. When you bring lights in, it starts to really bring out the detail in your character. So I'm going to copy over this light, slide it over to this side, and let's switch to a top view of our character. This guy right here is a top view. I'm going to move this light kind of farther away in front of him or in back, and we're going to give this one a slight warmer tint. So I'm just going to grab this kind of orange color and return back to our perspective view. So I have this orange light way back here. Let's give that a look-see. So now we have a 2-point light system. Still going to be very dark because we don't really have anything on the face, but it's looking like a furry dice or something. Next, we're going to copy this light again because 3-point lighting is a good start. And we're going to put this light in front of them, excuse me, and above, but maybe like really in front of them. So like right there and really above. Cool, so we got 3 lights around our cube monster, and then we can now zoom in, take a look, 3, 2, rendering right now with us. Ooh, look at this furry creature. Interesting. I want the teeth to be a little bit whiter, so I'm gonna go into our color and change it to a luminance, or just turn on luminance, and then reduce the brightness of our, the mix strength of our luminance. Or maybe it's the brightness. Oh yeah, so brightness. So I'm just gonna brighten up the teeth a little bit. Think of this as teeth whitening in Cinema 4D, is using the luminance channel to guide how bright an object should be. Cool, so now the teeth are much brighter. I don't know how I'm feeling about the eyeballs. Let me see what would happen if they were white. Let's go ahead and render that one out. Testing 3, 2, 1. Interesting, that's got its own uniqueness to it. I don't know if I like that one either though. So what I'm going to try then is to copy this sphere inside our symmetry object, make a copy of it, and scale it up so it's bigger eyeballs. Then we're going to move this backwards in 3D space, and then set that back one to white. Oh, why did it hide the other one? That's weird. I don't know what that was about. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Let's go back. The eyes. What to do about the eyes? I think we're like just lo-fi chilled out. It's only on. I'm only on here. If I'm only one here, and I'm loyal now. Late night designing. That's what it's all about. It's all about that late night designing. It's when the weird juices in the brain are flowing extra weird. I mean, look at that creepy looking creature. We're going to go to the tongue and actually add a luminance channel to the tongue. This luminance channel will be a red, but we'll kind of just keep it dull. I want to make sure that we are able to clearly see the tongue, the interior of the monster character, even when the lights aren't in there. Okay, cool. Looks like he has like gunk on his teeth. All right. Cool. 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 Looking around. Okay. Let's bring back those spheres. His, I guess his mouth shape or whatever. Let me see what that looks like real quick. Looks kind of like lips or something to the character's face. Interesting. Okay, let me see if we add our body back in. Okay. And let's see, what color is the body relative to everything else? Okay, so what we can do now is make the body pink, and then it will kind of look like it has pink skin. So what I'll do for that skin is we'll copy this color here, go to our Lumens channel, change it to a bright neon-y pink. Then we'll go to our color and also set that one to pink. A little bit brighter pink there. Perfect. And we'll place this as the skin tone of our object. And then as for the interior of the mouth, I'm thinking of using that same red again. Oops. Let's use that same red for that interior sphere of the mouth. Right about there. Nope. Where's the mouth? That's the bool object. That's our symmetry object. Where is the mouth object? Oh, it's a sphere. Interesting. Okay. Let's try placing this one right there. Nothing. Where's the mouth? I lost it. Oh, I see. We have to apply it to the bool. There we go. Okay, cool. So now he's got red mouth interior. So we're live streaming on YouTube and we're working on a cute 3D monster, ideally. Oh no, pineapple. I don't want you to have nightmares. I guess it is looking pretty creepy though, right? Yeah, my bad. When the stuff gets weird, it sometimes gets scary. It's a fine line to cross. All right, let's turn off our lines. Okay. Yeah, I guess it is looking pretty creepy. I think you're right about that nightmare thing. I might get some nightmares looking at this creature. So what I'm doing right now is I added another light inside of his mouth. So right now we're inside of the mouth of the character. We have a light in here, and let's give it a red glow. And then what we're going to do is change this light into a volumetric light by going to the shadow, turning on the shadow to soft shadows, and then going to visible and turning it to volumetric. When you do that, it creates this enormous sphere emitting around the light. And if we go to the transform options, we can reduce the size of the sphere. And this is the radius of how far the light will pop out like a fog in 3D space. So if we put this right in the center of the mouth, hopefully we have a creepy red glow appearing from the mouth now. As if it wasn't creepy enough, right? Interesting. Okay, cool. So it definitely kind of lights up the inside of the character. Don't know how far that went out though. Let me see if we can expand that volume a little bit. Really doesn't look like the light's doing anything. Let me see if I turned on the... Yeah, it's turned on. Okay, maybe we'll keep it a white light. Maybe the tongue is hiding it. No, I see the light. Let's see if we can try it again. Okay. Cool. Let's move these eyeballs around. trying to see different looks for the character. You can go to our sphere, bring these in. It's like this. What would he look like? Or she? Or they? Ooh. Extra creepy. I feel like this is something you probably wouldn't want to see in real life. You know, if you saw this, you're not in a good position. All right. All right, so we made the eyes a little bit bigger, just because I don't want the hair to leak through the eyeball. Go ahead and check it back on YouTube. Looks like a domo that wants to eat up your soul. Oh no. It does look like it looks pretty creepy. That's the one problem about doing these like creative live streams where you're just letting the flow of consciousness control it. You just end up with weird stuff. All right, so I was thinking about giving this character arms and legs, but you know, I don't want it to look too creepy. So what I'll do is I'll give it some like goofy looking wavy arms. So let's go to a front facing view, and what we'll do with it is we'll grab our pen tool. And we'll go to a new layer. And we'll start from over here, kind of bring it down, and then bring it up. Oh wait, that's gonna look weird. I'm gonna try this. Go up about here, kind of like the noodly arms inside of the show Adventure Time. I would say I'm drawing a lot of inspiration for how they do their arms of their characters in this right here. So going out about 2 squares, and then rounding off the arm. Okay, cool. So we just do this little wavy arm thing. If we hit escape, it gets out of that pen tool. Now, just to see our pen in 3D space, so we can go to our perspective view. And you can kind of see we have this wave now that kind of goes through our character. These are going to be the arms. And so what we'll do is we'll sweep a circle along that path, and it will create the arms. So I'll grab a circle. Yeah, here's the circle. We'll make the radius of the circle really tiny, like noodly arms. And then we'll grab the sweep tool inside of Cinema 4D, the sweep. And then we go to our layers, and we're going to make the circle, we're going to have the circle be a child of sweep, and then have the spline be a child of the circle. And now we have the noodly arms. Let's decrease the radius of the arms a bit. And I can see that it's actually going through his mouth, and that's really weird and bizarre. So we're going to move the sweep down or up, wherever we can hide it. So that's moving it up. Let's see, we'll move it down. I'll move it up. I think that looks kind of silly. Yeah. And we'll apply that same pink to the arms. And then our spline is still pretty active, so we can hide our sweep and move individual parts of our character's arm if we wanted to. So we can bring the arm like forward in 3D space. I'm thinking of giving them little creepy hands. I don't know what's inspiring this. This is a weird one, folks. Okay, so we got this weird creepy hand thing. And we'll go ahead and move our spline. A spline is just a 3D form of a vector. A vector path, I think. I didn't look that up. I just assumed from what it looks like. I don't know anything. All right, we're going to take this path and kind of just round it off a little bit more. Okay. This arm, we'll kind of keep it we'll keep it in a little bit. Move this guy as well. Maybe I'll send the elbow back a little bit further. All right, cool. Let's bring the sweep back. Cool, we got these noodly arms. Let's see what he looks like when we render out a little bit of a version of it. Kind of looks like horns a little bit. I think if we add little hands, it'll be a little bit more clear what these what it is. Yeah. Okay. Next, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to give him some feet. So we're going to go to a right view, and we'll switch this to display our shading. And we're just going to draw the side of one leg, and then we'll just copy the spline later. So we'll just start off from the side here and kind of just go forward about a square or two and kind of just bend the knee. And we're going to bend the knee back and then just round off the foot. There you go. Okay, so we got about a little noodly leg. Let's return back to our view. Okay, it's a tiny foot. And what I'm going to do is copy the same exact sweeping data that we used earlier. So I'm going to make a new sweep, or actually we can just copy it. Yeah. And then we'll just replace the spline and then hide that first spline. And then we'll bring our foot to the side. We could use the symmetry tool to make the feet perfectly lined up with each other, but I might want to move the feet around a little bit, so I'm not going to make them a sweep, or make them a, I forgot the word I used. The foot kind of was rounded off a little weird. So let's see if we can move that forward. And they have all sorts of ways of interpreting data. So what we can do with this foot is use a natural curve, or a B-spline, kind of smooths out features a little bit. We have different options. Okay, and let's see if we can move that kneecap up and down. Okay, cool, we got one foot. I'm now gonna just take it on the rotation and just kind of rotate the foot out a little bit. And then we'll take another one, copy that foot, slide it over to the side, and let's move that ankle out a little bit, the opposite direction. We'll go to our spline here and slide the knee out a little bit. Break the foot. Okay, and then we'll just take this spline and send it back too. Ooh, okay, it doesn't want me to do that. I was going to try to grab both the splines and use the rotation tool, but it doesn't want that. Okay, I guess what we'll do then is we'll just rotate the foot back from the leg hip point. Okay, cool. Whee! My quick question, are you good at making like channel art? Because I need some art for my channel. If you can, hook me up, let me know. Oh, nice. Yeah, I do make channel art. Send me a direct message and I can get you a quote. All right, let's see. Should we add fur to the arms is the next question. Let us find out. So these are what the character looks like without furry arms and legs. Kind of interesting. Now let's see what would happen if we applied fur to those appendages. So what we'll do is we'll select our object and go to the simulate, hair objects, add hair. Then we hit, oh, we can't hit play. It will break it immediately if I do that. It'll break all the other hairs. So let's not move anything. We'll just go to our hair, reduce the length, and we'll just brush it down manually. Cool. Let's add hair to this leg as well. Yeah. Yeah, we'll go to this one. Or let me put all the hair on the character, and then we will, I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, we got the second one here. Simulate hair objects, add hair. Great. Reduce the length, and we'll brush it. Polygon area is a little weird. Let's try polygon area. We probably need more segments. Now that I'm looking at this, we might need a lot more segments. There we go, 18, 9, 10. All right, so it just kind of adds a little bit more fur to the leg. Great. I guess the other one kind of needs it, but I couldn't tell because the angle. We should probably add it to that one too. So we'll go to our spline, add more segments, because this adds hair based off of how many segments are in the artwork. So let's increase the number. There we go. So it kind of just adds more hair to the character. Cool. And then last we'll add it to the arms. So we'll go to the spline, simulate, hair object, add hair. Whoa, looks like wings. I'm gonna turn this down. And then we'll also increase the segments here. Oh, it doesn't like that. Oh, we have to increase the segments of the arm. So we'll go to the arm, go to the spline, increase the angle or something. Oh, it's the degrees. That's weird. Huh. Okay, I don't know how to fix the arm one. That's weird. All the other ones were easy to fix. The arm one is beyond my control. Yeah, okay. Cool. So now what we'll do is we'll grab these hair objects. Oh, there it is. Segments. And we'll grab our brush tool. So if we go back to the simulate hair objects, or sorry, hair tools, we'll go to our brush, and we have a very large brush selected. That's fine. I'm just going to brush all the hair kind of downwards. So it kind of has like some weight to it, since we're not going to run the physics simulation and risk losing the information that we have from the other hairs. Then I'm just kind of shuffle it all up to kind of give it some movement. A little bit more chaos. Flapping the hairs around the arms. Flapping the arms, hairs. Maybe some of them come back up. I don't know. Cool. Let me see what those arms look like before I move on to the rest. Oh, it's going to be that gross color. We need to fix that. Oh yeah, by default it's that brown and yellow. So let's replace all those hairs with the pink, fluffy, curly hair. And then we'll go to the hair object of the legs, brush these ones down as well. And I'm going to take these ones and kind of bring it forward. So it kind of looks like it's stepping on something instead of nothing. Cool. Got these like Chewbacca legs. It's quite a bit of fur. Hope it's easy for the character to walk. All right, so go there and kind of shape it. Shape the foot with fur. Okay. Hey, thanks, Kid Z. Kid Z. Thank you. Let's go to the next hair. And we'll just kind of brush it along the leg. Kind of bring it down. We want to make sure that volume is clear. And then we also want it to be a little bit more chaotic, so kind of just brings certain parts in and out, bop, bop, bop. Just changing up the foot. Whoa. Hairy feet. Very hairy feet. Let's go ahead and just go ahead and bring that back down, bring that down, flip it around. We're gonna cover the noodle foot. The noodle foot. Cool. I think this will look good. Let's kind of just shuffle those around. All right, so let's see what our character looks like now in 3, 2, 1. Ooh. He looks like a kind fellow. I'm going to add a lot more hairs to each one of these appendages, because right now there's only 5,000. So let's double it. Let's do 10,000. 1, 2, 3. 10,000 hairs on that foot. We'll do 10,000 hairs on this foot. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And then we'll do 10,000 hairs on the arms as well. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Boom. So now we're going to have it's going to be a little bit longer to render. but that makes sense because we just asked it to bring in a lot more detail. Just kind of brush these up a little bit. All right, let's see what we get. 3, 2, 1, render. All right, render these arms of the fur. Ooh. Okay, cool. I'm digging this. I like this. Yeah. Maybe let's see what other angles look like. Oh, what happened? Body's disappeared. Looks like we have our live stream on Instagram is about to end. I got the countdown timer, but those of you watching on YouTube, I will continue working on this until we're done. Shouldn't be too long from now. This looks like he's trying to find someone that took his sandwich. Yeah, he's a hungry fella. I think I might remove the light from the mouth so we can get a little bit more contrast coming out of there. So let's hide the light. Okay, cool. So now what I'm going to do to make it look even more realistic is I'm going to bring in a real world environment. So I'm thinking we'll go into what I mean by real world environment. There's this thing called HDRI. It stands for High Dynamic Range Image. Look at that, High Dynamic Range Image. And what it is exactly what it sounds like. It's an image that's very high in its dynamic range. What you can use them for is for lighting. So I can use the lighting from this image around my subject, and it will take in that data and apply it to our scene. Super cool. So I just dragged this from Google, and now we'll go to make a new sky object. So we'll go to sky. You kind of see how the background changed tint. Then we double click in this area, we click on our material and make a brand new material. And this time, instead of a color, we're gonna load up that texture. So we'll go to load the image. It takes a couple seconds because it's gonna look through your computer and be like, yo, where is that image? And then it's gonna be, in my case, on the desktop, and I'll hit open. It makes sure that you want to use that. And then we drag this onto our sky. And so we could use this as the actual image that the character's in, but I just want to use it for lighting purposes. But let's just see what it looks like for fun if we kept both the lighting and the image in the shot. All right, well, it looks super pixelated because it was a tiny image, so that wasn't good. And actually, I don't think it got too much of the light data that I was looking for. So I might scratch that idea entirely. All right, getting rid of it. Goodbye. Instead, what we'll do is we'll just make the ground, we'll make the environment from scratch. So I'm going to start off by making a floor. And then we're going to tilt it to make sure that we can see our feet of our character. Okay, then we're going to go to our landscape and adjust the fine furrows and the rough furrows and the depth segments. And this is going to make it more realistic of floor to be interacting on. Then what we'll do with the segments here, let's check on YouTube again real quick. Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. Oh. Well, I first got to see the DM and then see if I'm able to do the project. I'll probably have some time to check on it tomorrow. All right, cool. So we got the feet there. Wonderful. Feet pressing around. Okay, and then let's go to our randomness, and we can do random textures, simulation, stop. Let's move that mountain back. Okay, so he's kind of standing on like something that's about to fall. Hope he doesn't get hurt. Okay, cool. I also might actually hide his noodle arms entirely, so then it's just seeing the fur. And we can do that by going to our sweep and just turning off the sweep. Oh no, we can't do that. Turn off the spline, the circle. Oh, we can't do that either. Maybe we can do hide from camera. There we go. So we're just gonna hide everything from the camera. Yep, and by doing this, if we hide the shape from the camera, then we'll be left with just the fur as the arm and the legs for our character. Cool. He looks more soft and fuzzy and terrifying all at the same time. Okay. Next, let's go into add some cool texture. So what we're going to do now is add more craziness to the environment here. So let's say it was this texture, and then we go to it, and then we go to the displacement, the bump channel. And we'll give this the bumps of some noise. And there's all sorts of different types of noise. I'm going to try to go for one that kind of looks like some textured ground that our character could be walking on. And ideally it scatters light in a nice way, that it looks cool, hopefully. Well, it's doing that. No problem. Thanks for joining. Welcome, Animation Tutorials. Whoops. Oh, did I not hit render? I thought I was hitting render. There we go. 3, 2, render. What do the feet look like? All right, cool. So now we got some kind of shiny floor. It's like, I don't know, some like snow or something. Some weird floor thing. I don't really know. All right, whatever it is, I'm going to copy it. Maybe increase the strength of this a little bit. And also I'm going to reduce the scale from 100 to maybe 60. So it kind of makes a little bit more roughness. And then in the color, I'm going to add a new layer as well. And with the layer color, we're going to go to, we could load up an image, or I'm going to use a shader. And we'll use a gradient. We'll go radial. Or we'll go circular. Okay. And we'll change this to that bright pink that I was using earlier. And then for that black point, we'll use another pink. All right, let's see what that does. Cool. It looks like a furry creature in a pile of bubble gum. Interesting. Bizarre. I don't know what this is, what world we're in, what time frame we're in. But all I know is it's weird, and it's also, I guess, kind of fun to work with. Let's see. I'll set up a camera right there. Okay. So with this landscape, the reason why I copied it, looks like he's like sinking. Help me! Bubblegum. What I'm going to do with this one is put it behind him. And then we're going to flip it as well. And then what we're going to do is expand the height of the object. Alright, so there's a way we can make this kind of like a cave behind him. So what we could do is increase the scale. And then we go to the height controller. And we can increase the height. Oops, wrong axis. Meant to grab this one. There we go. We can kind of just make like a cave behind our character here. Yeah, it's weird. Cool. I just place that over here somehow. We want to make sure that there's still going to be enough light that hits him. So I'm just taking a look at where our lights are in our scene. Oh, so yeah, we're going to be missing that backlight. So let's move this much further back so we can get that light in him. And we'll scale this up. And we'll return back to our camera. All right, what do we get? The bubblegum monster. Cool. All right, I like where this one's going. So I think probably try to wrap things up pretty soon here. Add some crystals behind the monster. Ooh, lovely idea. Let's do that. Think what's the best way to make a crystal? Crystals behind the monster. Okay. Let me think. Think. All right. What we'll do to make a crystal is we'll start off with a plutonic shape. This is a plutonic. Then what we'll do is we'll deform it by kind of squashing it too much in one side and expanding it in another. So it kind of looks like that. Cool. Then what we'll do with the crystal is turn it into a polygon mode, polygon editor mode. And now we can do the real tweaking of shrinking certain polygons, increasing other ones, and also moving them around. Mostly scaling them up and down is going to make it kind of crystal look. So just a polygon, shrink it. I think like Crash Bandicoot kind of crystal. Alright, cool. So we got this crystal-like shape. Let's make a couple copies, or make one copy at least for now. And slide this one over. Oops. I made one copy. Try not to select anything. And with this copy, I'm going to slide it to the side here, just in case I mess this up. What I'm going to do with this crystal is grab all the edges. So we're going to select the edges tool. And I think there's a tool to select all edges. Let me do, maybe it's a loop selection. Yeah, so I'm just grabbing the different loops of the polygons. And what we're going to do with all the looped polygons is adding them to our selection. And then what we'll do is we will make these have a little bit of a soft edge, a small edge, very, very almost imperceptible edge, which will be useful later, I promise. Okay, it doesn't need to be on every one of them. I mean, I wanted it on all of them, but for some reason I can't grab 2 polygons. All right, so with all those edges selected of this crystal, we then do the shortcut M, oops, and then we go down to, oops, M, and I think it's T. Oh no, T is extrude. Let's do MS, which is bevel. And with the bevel tool, we can kind of now bevel all these edges so that light will kind of scatter in really, really cool way. All right, there we go. So we kind of just added little edges, little extra edges to all those existing edges. And with that shape, we will now throw it through a crystal-like refraction index. So we will make this first off transparent, and then we'll give it the refraction index of glass. And then we'll make that glass kind of a cool color, a cool jewel color. Maybe this is blue. Let's take off the color and make sure maybe it's a little bit too transparent. Let's go to our color again. Let's get a blue in there. Go to transparency, increase transparency. And then go to reflection. I guess we can keep reflection on. All right, let's throw this on here. All right, now, so we have a blue crystal. Let's see if it looks correct by giving it a quick render pass. Falling snow. You should check out my Instagram. I post pics and edits. My edits are not that professional. Pineapple Industries. What's your Instagram handle? Add some designer to your monster. Designer? Oh, like patterns and stuff? Oh, cool. So the blue jewel is coming out nicely with the lighting that we have. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to take this crystal, and what we'll do with it is shrink it down quite a bit. I worked with it larger and then shrink it down. We could assign it to randomly appear on different parts, but I've had some troubles with that tool lately, so it might not work. But let's give it a shot. The tool is a plugin called the Forester Multi-Cloner. And so let's make the object here a child of the multi-cloner, and then we can choose it to distribute to any geometry we want. In this case, we want it to distribute to that landscape behind. And then we turn on display all points. And there we go. So now we have some, okay, I guess it worked. Now all the crystals are embedded into the back. And now we can go into our multi-cloner and adjust things like the scale and the different cool properties about it. Let's see. Oh, we can also change the random clone size. There we go. So these are a little bit larger crystals. The random seed kind of just places them in different spots, which is kind of helpful. And if we wanted, we can even add, oh, if I add a light, it will get really bogged down. All right, see, go back here. We got some crystals behind the character. Boom, ba boom. Boom, 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 ba boom, 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 boom. Cool. Let's give this a render real quick. I want to see what we're getting. Oh, YoungPin3 is your Instagram. Hey, no problem. I like the idea of the crystals. See how they're coming out. Cool. I might want to make them a little bit shinier, so let's actually go into the reflection channel. Go to the reflection brightness, change it to a Beckman. Now it's going to be way shinier. Let's check it out. There we go. Yeah, now they're like glass. Maybe we should give him a crystal crown. Like he's the king of the bubblegum crystals. Or queen of the bubblegum crystals. And so what we should do is make a torus shape and hide it. And then apply the crystals in the same technique that we did to the bubblegum behind him. All right, let me make a crystal crown real quick. Bloom, bloom, bloom. Oh no. There we go. Cool. All right, we're out of our camera. All right, for the crystal crown, we'll start off with a torus. Oh, it's like an inner tube. And we'll make it about the size of a crown. Place it above the head and decrease the width a little bit. Okay. Then what we're going to do with this is use that same technique that we just did. Let's first check out how many polygons we're working with. So let's go to View. Oh, I forgot to save. Let me save. Bubblegum monster. So we saved that. Okay, so we got this torus. Then what we're going to do is make sure we have a copy of that plutonic shape that we worked with earlier. Copy it. With the torus selected, we're going to go to our plugins, Forester, Multi-Cloner, and apply the plutonic underneath it again. And this time we'll set the multi-cloner to distribute to the torus's properties. There we go. And now let's view it. Ooh, maybe we have a little bit too many. We don't need that many. It's like 100 of them. I'll reduce it to 30. 30's getting closer. Maybe try 20. And then we're going to hide the torus from camera. Kind of just looks like he's wearing some kind of hair or something. And then we can adjust our random seed to come up with different variations. Ooh. Interesting. The clone size can also be adjusted. They can make them like little pebbles. Might look kind of cool. But then we'll probably need more of them. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Okay. Add some glow to the crystals. Give him a gold chain. A gold chain might be kind of cool. I don't know how to do that too easily though. You can check it out though. Let's see. Alright, cool. So I just want to make sure they have a nice little crown. Or it might just look like a hair. And that's okay. And then what'd you say? You said, I need to go back. Oh, you said glow. So if we go to our plutonic and just add a light to the origin, I think it will add glow to all of them. I'll probably just do the glow in Photoshop, but let's see. Oh yeah, here's the original plutonic there. So let's see if we add a light to it. We'll make sure it's a volumetric light. We'll give it a little bit of a blue glow. Okay, I think that should work. It might bog down the computer a bit, but let's see what we get. Cool, and then let me just dim those lights. So now every one of those crystals has a light applied to it, including the crown. Let's go back to our first camera angle and see what we're getting. All right, so we got the pink character is popping into the frame. He's got the fluffiness. I think the glow isn't too intense. Might want to increase it. Also give it some new shadows. So let's turn on the shadows to soft shadows and increase the strength of that glow around our objects. Let's go ahead and render that one out. Also, I think I might want to make the cave a little bit darker because it's starting to take away from the furry creature. And I'm really not seeing that glow too much. Let me move that light around perhaps. All right, now it's outside of it. Gold chain. Oh. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. They have a little bit of glow to them now. Oh yeah, that's nice. All of them have a little glow. A little bit of sparkly shine. Okay, then last thing I'm going to do then before exporting this to Photoshop will be to dim this. So I'm going to turn off the luminance channel. And then even the color, I'm going to kind of just darken it a couple shades. So let's make another shade on top of it. I'll just do a color, make that color black. And then we'll reduce the strength. There we go. So now hopefully the furry creature kind of pops off and the lights might be a little bit more noticeable. Let's see, maybe just move this up and down. Down, 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 down. Whoa. Okay, let's give this a little render. I'm getting a little sleepy, I'll be honest. Might need to head out pretty soon. I'm also going to bring the teeth a little bit more forward so there's not so much gross stuff on them. And I'm actually going to go ahead and darken the background even more. Bum, ba, dum, ba, dum, bum, bum, bum. Ooh, what does black look like? I kind of like the black. Everything looks all sparkly now, too. Oops. Oh, thank you. Next live events dates? Oh, I'll probably do them another evening this week, maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure. I'm not too good at planning these yet. I'm still trying to get my groove back with the timing. Ah, dang it. I was trying to render that. Oh, wow. The blue crystals look kind of cool, too, for the floor. Maybe I should do that for the back part, too. Let's see. Oh, wow. I really like the blue background. It's like a movie poster. Yeah, we're going to go with that blue. Okay, cool. All right. Next, what to do? What does the black eyeballs look like in this condition? Black eyeballs there. Bum, 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 bum. What are you guys' thoughts on the black eyeballs? Creepier? Make bubbles background to blue ice types looking nice. Makes bubbles background to blue. Oh, thanks. It's like a denting ice. I kind of like this blue thing. Let me put some objects in front of him for his eyeballs to reflect off of. So we kind of jump out of our camera view here, go back to wide view, and if we go to a top view of our character, like this one here, this is the top view, we can go, oops, it won't let me drag the scene. What's going on? Lets me zoom out. There we go. What we can do is we can add another torus, a giant torus that is hidden, and then we shrink it down, and then we just make it a bright color, bright blue, and this will just act like a kind of like a light source for things to reflect off of. I'll turn off the reflectance, and that's all we need. It's just illuminance. Let's put that there. Great. Let's kind of move it around. Do 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 do. Okay. For eyeballs, little shade of white. For eyeballs, on put some things with the ice, like big spikes or like ice cracks on the walls and floor. I don't know how to make ice cracks. Oh, I guess in Photoshop I can do that. We need to get a Photoshop pretty soon. All right, so I'm just going to duplicate that. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm adding these random kind of things around the edges of our scene that are kind of invisible. And the point is they can be used in a really cool way to make the reflections inside the eyeballs more interesting or more engaging, because they will focus on since the eyeballs are so reflective, they're going to reflect whatever is around them. So I put these two rings of blue light around the scene to kind of circle the whole scene. So hopefully we'll get some blue bands in the eyes somewhere. All right, cool. So now we can kind of see these little bands. I might make them wider, because right now they look really creepy. Excuse me. Bum ba dum ba dum bum ba bum 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 ba dum bum 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 bum. All right, the first one's much wider, and then the second one is right here. It's super thin for now. We'll kind of expand this out. All right, cool. So the bands are thicker. Hopefully we'll get a better reflection across the eye now. Where is this gold chain at? Oh, ice. Oh, an ice chain. Oh, I like the idea of an ice chain. I'll give him an ice chain. I wasn't sure if the gold chain would fit, but the ice chain definitely fits. wow, this is crazy. I like this. I like this a lot. All right, so to make the ice chain, I'm actually just going to copy this one that we did earlier. This cloner. I'm going to copy it and then rotate it down. And then move it. And we'll have an ice chain. This could be a commercial for Dentine Ice. Chewing gum in the United States. Okay, let's see if we get this in. Multi-cloner. Oh, the platonic radius. So many words tonight. For some reason I can't see the root shape, so I'm having trouble shaping this guy. So I guess I'll rotate him back up then. And then see if we can just move this manually. That's frustrating. I can't get it to widen. It's just making the thing bigger. Oh, that's why there's two Tauruses. Okay. That was confusing. Okay, cool. All right, I don't know what that did. Let's see. Ice Jordans. I don't know if it would look good though with the Ice Jordans. All right, come on, let's see what we're getting. Oh, looks messed up. And the glowing thing in the eye looks weird too. I don't like it. I don't know. I'm struggling with this one. Let me delete the first cloner. Maybe I'll take off his crown and we'll just focus on the shawl or whatever this thing is. All right, just doing little adjustments here and there, kind of flipping it around. Now it's like an inner tube. I don't know. Let's see what that does. Rendering, rendering, rendering shadows. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't like it. Yeah, I'm not feeling it, I'll be honest. I don't know if I want anything in front of them. So I'm just gonna mess it up if I keep doing that. Let me get rid of those toruses. We got the crystals though. But yeah, this isn't working. Where's the torus? I lost it. Okay. Well, I want to get to the Photoshop. I moved the camera. Dang it. I want to get to the Photoshop part of the tutorial. So I will need to export this like now. Luminance sword in hand of monster. Luminance sword. That would be pretty cool. You keep tempting me with things that are going to take me a long time to do. I love the ideas. Keep them coming. I just want to get this one done now, though. Does it? Let's see. If there's a place for him to have a sword, then we should definitely do it. Let's see. I'm rendering him out. I'd have to make the sword a different color. It could be an excuse to bring in my yellow color. And it could be glowing, which might look really cool. Let me see. I think you won. I'm gonna make a sword. It will look fitting to have a sword in his hand. All right, let me see what we have. Cool. I pop out of that camera and we'll sculpt a sword. To do this, we'll start off with the base being a cube. It'll be a really easy one. All right, so we got the base. Cool. And then we'll shrink this down. Just making the handle. Cool. A breeze. Next, another cube. Boom, bum, 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 bum. Dum, 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 dum. Do, 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 do. All right, so then what we'll do at the top of this cube is split it using our edge splitter. Let's display our geometry. What is it? Display. Girl shading lines. Wow, there's a lot of lines in here. Okay, let's display this and then we'll go to our object and we'll make more segments. All right, so now it's a nice split. We'll go to our edge selection tool. And with that selection, we'll move it straight up. We got a sword. Then we'll grab these and we'll grab these two edges, and we'll hit the scale tool so that it gets a little bit wider at the top. Yep, that looks like a sword. Cool. And then I'm gonna just puncture this one out as well. Move it a couple frames forward. You won't see this one, but I'll still make it a sword-like. All right, so now the sides kind of come out a little bit. Great, let's grab that entire cube, go to our coordinates and squish it together in that x-axis. Oops, I meant z-axis because it's that. So we're just kind of thinning out the sword a little bit. And then to make the sword cut, we would need to make these turn into a fine point. Doom, 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 doom. Or actually, we can just keep squishing it in the Z-axis, and then it'll eventually become like a sharp blade. There we go. Actually, I kind of enjoyed it as it was a little bit wider. Cool. Let's grab this base cube. And with this one, now that we have a direction for the sword, we should change this axis to be a little bit narrower. And then this cube as well should have some properties changed, slightly adjusted here and there. Okay, cool, we got a sword. Okay, cool. Next, we're going to go to our edge selection tool and select all the edges using our loop selection feature. Really love that loop selection feature. This makes objects more realistic when you add bevels to edges, even if they're subtle. And the shortcut for that is MS, so MS. And then we just add a little tiny bevels to the edges of the sword so that there's a little bit more angles for light to reflect off of. Oops. We'll do the same thing to the base here. Alright, so we just bevel those edges a little bit, whatever. Then we'll go to that handle, or the hand guard, I mean. Alright, so we grabbed all the edges of the sword, and then we'll do MT. Oops, that was extrude, let's do MS. That's kind of like subdividing the edges here. There we go. Kind of makes a cool pattern too. Oops, lost it. Let's check on the comments on YouTube. Oh, a flame sword and the side of his eyeballs a yellow glow. Oh, I see what you mean. Ah, your ideas are on fire. Why did they take so long, though, to make? They're great ideas, though. I love them. I encourage this. All right, let's go to our color. All right, bright yellow sword. I can add the fire in Photoshop, which is what I'm just going to have to do. And then let's go ahead and move these two together. Group them. Yellow S word. Yellow sword. Cool. And I'm going to move the anchor point to the center of the handle so that when we rotate the sword, it'll be from the handle, which will be nice to rotate from. Cool. All right, let's get this sword to be the right scale. So I'm scaling it down right there. And we're going to place it in the hand of our character. We're also going to turn off the lines. So let's go to display, just our regular shading. And return to our main camera. And we're going to place this sword in the hand. And we'll give it a little bit of a rotation. Okay, see what we get. It's kind of holding it in a weird way. Maybe I should put it in the other hand. All right, I'm bringing in a new light again. So many lights in this scene. It's like 50 of them. What can another one hurt? And we'll parent this light to our sword. So wherever the sword goes, the light will go. I'm going to change our light in our general settings to a volumetric light. That way, we'll see it as a kind of glowing, warm presence. Cool. Oh wow, the light really worked. There's a nice upper glow on the eye. I might actually increase the intensity of that light. I love it so much. And then we can make maybe part of the handle a different color. Oh, luminance in the sword as well. All right, now it has a crystal sword. What would that look like? I do like the yellow sword though, but maybe a crystal sword is more suiting. It's too hard to see the crystal sword. Let's go back to yellow. And I think this is the right one for us to work on. So let's fix up our export settings, bring this into Photoshop. Or maybe I'll just have to end the live stream here, and then maybe a separate video could be the Photoshop. Because it's going to take a little while to export this guy. Ouch. Let's see, export. Let's do some ambient occlusion. How slow or how long will that take? Let's see. Estimated time. Oh, that actually won't take too long, I hope. Okay, that's going to take way too long with those settings. Let's turn this off. Let's go to turn off the ambient occlusion and see what happens if that fixes the timing. Okay. I think I might want to hide the cube body because the light is creating a really hard edge. So let's see if we can find the cube body somewhere in here. There it is. Let's see if we can hide it. And then maybe for that matter, we might want to hide the mouth as well. All right, let's see what that does. All right, finally I'm just going to save this to an existing drive where I have some other ones like this. Pink sword dude. All right. Well, I think that's going to go ahead and start the render. It might take quite some time since there is a lot of detail in this image. But yeah, I think, oh, actually, did I lie? That's going by pretty quickly. This is under 2 minutes. Maybe we should just continue on with the tutorial. So things that we're going to want to fix in Photoshop is some of these hairs kind of, even when we cut them, appear as little dots. I'm going to probably use Photoshop to kind of crush those out so that we don't really see them. And then, yeah. And maybe we can make it like a blue flaming sword or something. Or a white flame. Composition and then scale it down. I'm gonna get some water. I'll be right back. All right, still live streaming. I'm gonna be eating some popcorn. This will be done. Wish I could pause the live stream. Actually, I think I can. I'm gonna pause the live stream. Sorry about that. I think I can pause it and then it'll come back up. Pausing, pausing, pausing. No, that's not a thing. Wow, I really like the eyes, the way they came out with that kind of ring light halo effect there. And we can even see some of the hairs pushing through the back of it with that blue tint. Wow, that was super loud. Sorry about that. This is like a video game. I want to play this game. 'Oh, sweet, we're almost done. Five, four, three, two, 1, 0. Sweet. Cool. Photoshop time. Let's open this up. Excuse me. So first thing I want to do is duplicate the layer. So we'll hit Command J. I always do that. Then I'm going to fix up the teeth because they kind of got a little too bright in there. So we'll go into our magic wand tool or quick selection tool, and with it on our correct layer, I kind of just select this dark area here. Get in between the teeth. Like we're flossing. Get in the corners. What we're going to do is make a selection, or actually we'll do select and mask. And also I want to show the original underneath. Okay, and then we'll turn up our radius. And increase our contrast. Okay. All right, that should be a good selection. All right, so with that selection made, we're gonna make a new layer and just kind of fill this with any color, really. Whoa. What? What is that? Oh, no, dude. Okay, so we have that selected. I can go in here with the brush now. Yeah, paintbrush. Kind of paint any color. In this case, let's use black. Cool. So that's like a nice, kind of subtle way that we can impact it without totally changing it up. So that now it's a little bit darker in there. we'll do the same technique to the teeth. So we'll go into the teeth and just use our quick selection tool to select these kind of chunks, and then holding shift to grab these chunks as well. Holding shift each time I lift the clicker. Make sure we get all the way up to the top of the teeth here. Wonderful. And then we'll do a select and mask as well. All right, let's try that selection. Command J. With that selected, let's grab that white, or I guess it's kind of a gray color, and we kind of just paint it in. Oh, but then we lose a lot of the texture. So instead what we'll do is we'll go to Image Adjustments, Hue and Saturation, and we could just desaturate this. So it looks like it just has some kind of messed up teeth. And just whiten it up a little bit. Oh, that doesn't look right. Let me take it down. Okay, another option we have is we can use the Band-Aid tool. I don't know the best way to go about the teeth. I guess we can just kind of paint in the colors. In Photoshop, you got to be like the digital dentist. And we're going to clean up the teeth in this case. I'm going to bring in that shine that comes back over. And then we'll grab this color here and kind of just layer that back on. Think of this as the whitening of the teeth. And this color kind of changes up here a little bit. It's a slightly different shade of gray. So I just hold I to grab the eyedropper and then just kind of color it in. Do 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 do. Okay, so we just kind of cleaned up the teeth a little bit there. I don't really like it, to be honest. But maybe we can just blend the two together so it's just a little bit more subtle. There we go. Okay. Next, we're going to add some fun, brightness, and color dodging to the eyes here. A slight color dodge to the top makes it a little bit brighter. Okay, just add a little bit of brightness to that there. Cool, and then we'll go back in with the burn tool and make sure our shadows are selected. Excuse me. And we'll go in and kind of darken our shadows of our character here on the inner parts of the eye. Makes it a little bit more contrasted. Any part that should have some depth, you want to kind of add a little more shadow to. Cool. All right. Next, I'm going to grab all these layers and merge them together. And then we're going to take this into, actually before we do that, let me see if we have any optical flares we can work with this evening. What is this? Oh, something. Da, da, do, do. Okay, let's see what would happen if we added some galaxy in here. Maybe not. Okay, get rid of that. I do want to add some particles by this sword. So we'll add a new layer. Make a tiny brush that's white with a soft stroke and just do little dots. Actually, there's probably another brush we can use that does this. What's this? There we go. And then we're going to just add a little bit of those dots to this part of the eye here, and on this one as well. And then we erase the excess. Excuse me. Next thing we'll do is a little bit of motion blur in some spots. So what I mean by that is we will use the lasso tool, and say we grab the sword and this part of the arm here. Alright, with this selection, I'll just hit Command J, so we have a copy of it. I'm going to do another selection of this arm here as well. Okay, hit Command J. And then let's try some different motion blurs with these arms. So with this one, let's have it moving down. So we can go to Filter, Blur, Motion Blur, and reduce the amount. And just choose the direction that we want it to blur in. I like that. It's kind of a little bit of movement right there. We'll do the same thing with this arm. Go to Filter, Blur, Motion Blur. That's at 72 degrees. There's another direction there. Cool, so the arms are just moving in different directions, kind of flailing about. Alright, next thing we can do is grab all these and merge these layers together so that they become one entity. Make sure that everything's cropped to the right size. Yeah, it's good. And I like to sometimes open things up in this thing called, it's a new plugin called Nick Collection Analog Effects Pro 2. Think of it kind of like a really nice Instagram filter where you can control a lot of things about the final composition. Oh wow, I really like this one. So in Analog Effects Pro 2, you kind of start off with like a template, and then you can work backwards from it and adjust things to your liking. I've already made a bunch of different filters, and these are in my custom section here. These are ones that I've used for different kinds of posts. But so far, the one that was standing out to me the most was that last one from their selection. Go to here and maybe adjust the saturation a bit. Well, it's creepy. I'm going to keep this back down at 0%. And this is the extract detail. This one looks pretty crazy too. Wow, I really like this filter. Alright, and then we have different kind of like dirt and scratches onto the filter. I like to go to the lens vignette. Reduce it, or in this case increase it if we want to bring some of that texture back in. Okay, cool. I think that's about right. Alright, I'm gonna hit OK and save. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll lower the opacity of this effect because I sometimes overdo it inside of Analog Effects Pro 2. So I'll just kind of drop it in half so I get it close to what it looked like when I exported it out, but still get to reap some of the benefits from the program. Yeah, and this is cool because we get to see a lot more of those details in our ice texture. All right, I think I'm done. Let me go ahead and throw my signature thingy on it. I encourage you guys to try out Adobe libraries. Adobe Library Panel is cool because I have like a brand set, and this works across all the Adobe software. Put a little bit of watermark Creative Commons. Cool. All right, I think that's about it. Trying to think of where I should put this. All right, that's all. Cool. That is definitely everything. So, as always, I hope you enjoyed this cute 3D monster creation on Creativity with DA3 Live. As always, thank you so much for watching and tuning in. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment, or you can send me a direct message in Instagram at Don Allen III. That's in the lower left corner there, at Don Allen I. And I'm pretty good at responding to direct messages, I think. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, we'll see.